Alright, so here's the deal. I've got an essay due tomorrow for class, but I haven't started it at all. We've all been in this situation before where we know we have to write an essay, but we're just too lazy and like our mind doesn't spark any ideas, so we do nothing about it. Or we actually tried to write the essay, but for some reason you just can't write anything. Every time you think about something to write, your head just goes blank. Then you have those essays in class where you have the prompt, the passage, you know what to write about, but then when you put the pen on the paper, you're just completely lost. Well, in this video, I've decided to team up with Bartleby Write, and I'm going to be sharing with you guys some ways on how to write an amazing essay. Step number one is that you want to make sure you read the prompt and instructions very carefully. The prompt and instructions are not only there to guide you, but they're also there to tell you what to write the essay about. I know that sometimes the prompt and the instructions to an essay may be really hard to understand, so what I like to do is I like to read the instructions, read the prompt, and then in another page, I like to summarize what it's asking me to write about. That way, I understand it really clearly, I know what I need to do, and when I am reading the passage or doing my research, I know what to look for. Now that you read the prompt, you completely understand it, you know what you need to do, the next step is to do your research. For an in-class essay, you really don't have to, and you can't even do any research because the prompt and passage are just given to you. Make sure that you're still highlighting and annotating any important and relevant information. Now, the main mistake that students do when they're highlighting and annotating the passage is that they over-highlight, they over-annotate, and that's not good because you're just gonna end up with a clutter of information that you're not gonna know how to use. My advice is to highlight and annotate only what stands out, keywords, key definitions, key arguments, and statistics that can be used as evidence. If you're doing something more like a research paper, then you do actually have to search for information, whether it's online or on a book. The process is still really similar. You just want to make sure that you're using the most reliable sources, the sources with the most information, and the sources that you analyze the most. Knowing how to break down a passage and analyzing information online is a really big step when it comes to writing an essay. You read the prompt, so you know what to write about. You highlighted and annotated, so you have all this information. Now the next step is to plan out your essay. Sure, you could do the classic brainstorming and just write down your ideas on a piece of paper, but usually that leads to nothing and you end up wasting a lot of time. I'm gonna teach you guys the way that I like to plan out my essays. You don't have to follow it, but it's the way that I use and that I find the most productive. You're gonna have your thesis or your main argument at the top. Then you're gonna break it off into little sections. You're gonna have support, evidence, and reflection. You're gonna have different support points throughout your outline, and the support points pretty much go back to the thesis and explain why you support your argument. Your evidence is what's gonna back up your support, and it can include anything from quotes, facts, numbers, and statistics. Your reflection is gonna be a commentary where you analyze your evidence and explain how it actually ties into the support that you argued. Let's go through a quick example and let's pretend that you're writing an essay about college education. Your thesis is going to be, although college education is expensive, the benefits of a degree prove that college is a good return on investment. Then your support could be something like, people that earn a college degree earn more than people that don't go to college. Your evidence can be anything that shows a fact. For this example, we're going to say that 60% of people that go to college end up earning more on the long run than people that never went to college. Then in your reflection, you tie everything in together and you could write something like, due to the fact that people with a college degree earn more on the long run, a college degree proves to be correlated to a higher paying job. You can use this outline format any way you want. You could divide it by paragraphs or just divide it by support points, but as long as you have a thesis, you have support, you have evidence, and you have a reflection, you should be good to go. Also, keep in mind that you don't have to follow this outline system. This is just the outline system that has worked the best for me. Now comes the part where you put all these steps together and you actually write your essay. Avoid distractions, put your phone away, don't have it out, and make sure that you're in a quiet, comfortable area where you can write without any interruptions. I know that sometimes you're writing and you get writer's block and you just completely blank out and you just stand still without knowing what to write. If this happens, take a break, stop writing, get in a breather, because your brain is gonna need that break. You're gonna end up being more productive if you take a really small break than than if you just stare into space without doing anything. If you're writing an in-class essay or an AP essay, keep track of the time, because you might have an amazing essay planned out, but next thing you know, you only have like 15 minutes left and you're freaking out. Spend about 20% of your time outlining and planning your essay, spend about 70% of your time actually writing the essay, and then spend the last 10% of your time just going over your essay and making sure you have no mistakes. Guys, I know writing an essay sometimes can be really difficult, but be productive, stay focused, and you will get it done. You finally wrote your essay. Now what you should do if you have time is to have somebody else peer edit it. Your professors might be really busy, so they might not want to read your essay before it's due, but that doesn't matter. Give it to a friend and just have them tell you what they think about your essay. Does it sound good? Does it sound like something that could get you an A? Now let's say you want an essay revised very thoroughly, but you really don't know who to give it to. If that's your case, then Bartleby Write is the tool for you. Bartleby Write is an online virtual writing center that will help you write the perfect essay. Bartleby Write has many tools like a plagiarism detector, a citation creator, a grammar and spell check, and they even score your essay based upon what you give them. It's pretty much like having a professor on call to revise all your essays and writing assignment whenever and wherever you need it. What I like about Bartleby Write is that it is really easy to use, and it will not only help you with your essay, but it will help you improve your writing skills overall. If you're struggling with your essay, I highly recommend you use Bartleby Write. I'm gonna leave their link down below in the description. Make sure to go check them out, use them. Trust me, they will help you with your essay tremendously. Now I know that sometimes when you're writing an essay in class, you really can't peer edit before you submit it, but if you do have the opportunity to peer edit it, I highly recommend you do it. You planned your essay, you wrote your essay, you got it peer reviewed, but now the last step is to go over it and revise it. Read it out loud or in your head to see if it actually makes sense and that the words you use actually flow properly. Tweak any paragraphs or ideas if you have to do that. Read it over one last time. Make sure it's good, hit that submit button, and you're good to go. Alright guys, but that's pretty much my advice on when it comes to writing an essay. I use these steps and so far they have worked perfectly for me. I hope they work perfectly for you as well. Remember to check out Bartleby Write. I'm going to be leaving their link down below in the description. That is pretty much it for me, but always remember to stay hydrated.